Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to Geeks of the Roundtable, episode 97. We're almost there. We're almost on the breakup point for me and Zach Pope. And of course, speaking of which, I am not alone today. I am joined by my beautiful co-host, as always, Zach Pope. How are you doing today, Zach?
I'm good. I wore my new hat on for a good reason.
That's right.
For Batman. So
Yes.
thought, hey, might as well. I couldn't find my shirt for the Batman, but I put on the black to symbolize.
I don't have a shirt for the Batman, but I have a Batman shirt that I do
have
like.
one. I don't know where it's at though. It's somewhere in my closet. But I was like, I'm just excited.
Hat's enough. Hat's enough.
It
But
is.
anyway, you guys know how this works. We're going to run down through the biggest news topics of the week, and then we're going to go into your live questions. And there are several ways of asking questions. You can just throw them in the live chat, and we'll do our best to get to it, provided it's appropriate for the show. Or you can actively support the channel through the tip link in the description, or just super chat us a great question, and we'll guarantee that we'll answer your question if that's the case. Also, big shout out to start us off to channel members Bruna and Stuart for making this video possible. And if you'd like to become a member, or at least check out if you would like to become a member, there's a link in the description for you to see the perks and see if that works for you. If not, we just welcome that you're here. All right, Zach, let us start off with your weekly ranking, my friend.
This is the week I watched a ton of shit, so now I can put it all in here. Coming down at the bottom. Now, just so everyone knows, every movie on this list I pretty much like. So just keep that in mind, okay?
All right.
Down at the bottom is Just Go With It. I put this on a whim because Adam Sandler movies are easy to put on the background and just like not pay attention to, but like I actually watched it. And I guess I never finished this movie back in the day. Fun movie with Jennifer Aniston and him. Like that's it. There's nothing more to it. It's an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
I will say though, I do miss when he was doing just comedies like this because his Netflix stuff is almost unwatchable.
Yeah.
Where like all of these comedies besides Jack and Jill, which I still have never finished, I enjoy.
I don't think I ever finished it either.
Yeah, not great.
Not that I regret not finishing it, just it's something we have in common.
Definitely. Next up, we have because Sundance is going on right now, so I have at least like 8 films to talk about from there. So I'll go kind of fast through them. Next, I got When You Finish Saving the World. This is Jesse Eisenberg's directorial debut, actually. Produced by Emma Stone's company for A24. So lots of stuff working in there. I liked it. This is a hit or miss movie. I didn't love it. Like I think you either hate this movie or you just like it. And I just liked it. Like it could have been way better. I get the point of what he was trying to do, but the characters are so fucking unlikable that the point he's trying to come across on doesn't really hit for me. It could have been better. Like the writing though, I think the script is where the movie actually excels in, if I'm being honest. But yeah. Could have been better. Performances are good though. Next up, we have The Princess. This is Princess Diana documentary coming to HBO. Premiered at Sundance, all using archival footage, and it's all from the perspective of the media. Now, if you don't know who Princess Diana is, this is the best documentary for you. It pretty much expands the entire media history of her. And I thought that was actually great. It's under 2 hours, so that's fucking great too. I just wanted it to go a little bit more deeper into her. But as a double feature suspenser, this would make it great. Not going to lie. This would be great. Next up, we got 8. Wait, let me see. Next up, we got 892. This is based on a true story. John Boyega, Michael Kenneth Williams' final performance. A man goes into a bank. Says he has a bomb and I'm taking the hostages. I need to make a negotiation. That's all you need to know. That's all I'm going to leave it at. John Boyega's best performance. Michael Kenneth Williams, what a fantastic last performance. Really dug this movie. Could have been 10 to 15 minutes shorter and it would have still gotten the same point across. But other than that, this is a very emotionally engaging thriller that I was overall very surprised by. I thought this would be good. I didn't expect it to be great. So, and I think John Boyega, Michael Kenneth Williams, again, their performances raised this movie. Next up, we have Batman, I watched Michael Keaton's Batman, started my Batman ranking, and it's pretty good. Some things are a little bit too cheesy, but I like this movie a lot. I don't know how everyone else feels about this Batman movie. Michael Keaton's badass. I love him as Bruce Wayne too. Jack Nicholson is fantastic as the Joker, and Danny Elfman's score is great. So we'll see. I'm sure you guys will see some of the other Batman movies way lower on the list eventually when I start getting into those ones. Putting those ones off for a while. Next up, I have Ozark. Well, actually, yeah, I'm gonna go Ozark season 4, part 1. Now my 3 through 2, 1 are all tied because
All right.
I love them all. But Ozark season 4, part 1. I love this show. I think it's Netflix's best show. This season's just fucking fantastic, and I can't wait for part 2. Coming up, my number 2, it is a movie called Fresh. I watched it last night with my girlfriend. None of you guys are prepared for this. I could tell you one thing, and you still would not be prepared. I'll just say this. When a trailer comes out for this movie, do not watch it. Don't watch it. Do not read into this movie as much. My review that's going up actually in an hour, I just rambled on for like 8 minutes because I didn't know.
Does it have a distributor, or is it still waiting to get bought?
No.
Okay.
Searchlight has it.
Oh, nice.
And it is going to Hulu and Disney Star everywhere
So Disney
else.
Plus here.
Yeah. It comes out in March.
All right,
nice. That it's not going into theaters though. I understand why though, because I think
Sebastian Stan has got a cool 2 months coming up with February, Pam and Tommy, and now this.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, and that might be why they're putting it on Hulu. To be honest, because I was a little bit pissed when I read that it was not going into theaters. This is a movie that should be in theaters. I don't know a single person that didn't like it that has watched it at Sundance and didn't like it. My girlfriend watched it though, and she goes, "I feel like a psychopath for saying if I like that movie or not."
I'm very curious now.
It's different. It's very, very different.
All right.
This is how big of ballsy it is. Title card doesn't drop till the first 40 minutes. That's how ballsy this fucking film is. And that's when you know you're in for something special. So, the movie is very unique. It's a little too long, but it fucked me up good. And last but not least, my number 1 is After Yang. This is the director who did Columbus, one of the most underrated films ever created. It's his brand new film. This movie's fucking great. I'm very much into the meaning of life and what is it to mean to be a human and all sorts of elements like that. And this is kind of what that movie spoke to me on. Colin Farrell is fucking great in this, but really much is the entire cast.
As he always is.
Yeah. It's very slow. It's melancholy. It's not gonna be for everyone, but like it was the right amount of everything I wanted it to be, and I just sat there in like fucking awe. And the use of aspect ratios for an indie film sometimes can get distracting. In this movie, it's not. It is beautiful what they were able to do. So, congrats.
So I don't mind slow movies as a principle. I like a lot of slow movies. I don't like a lot of slow movies. But as someone who was not too into Columbus, what do you think? I
don't think you'll like it. I think you'll be in the minority then, because it is the exact same slow pacing. I think you might like this one a bit more.
Does it? Okay. I'm going to put it this way. Does it actually have a story? Because that was my biggest problem with Columbus. It doesn't actually have a story. That's why I didn't like it too much.
I would say yeah. Just because it's an interesting one because I didn't know the concept. I just knew he was doing it. So then, like, I went and watched the movie. Then the first 10 minutes when it sets up, like, what the concept is, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the genre of film.
Yeah.
So it is a drama, but there's, like, another piece to that it was interesting to see. I'm sure it comes out in March as well. So.
Oh, nice.
From A24. Cool. A24 is distributing this one. Yeah. So.
Nice. All right. My weekly ranking, I didn't watch too much this week. I even watched... I can't talk about the first 3 episodes at this point. And so I watched one movie and I watched a bunch of TV shows. And one of those TV shows we'll talk about at length on our 4th topic. But in last place, and I like this, I liked everything I watched this week. Last place comes the new Netflix movie, Munich: The Edge of War. It's a really solid thriller that it works on its smaller scale, but not so much its bigger scale of the time setting and the war backdrop for the film. Over that, I'm going to have The After Party. That is Christopher Miller's show dropping next week. The first three
Is
episodes
that on
drop
Apple?
next week. Yes, on Apple TV
Okay.
Plus. You guys need to watch this show. It's funny. It's thoroughly engaging because this is a murder mystery that occurs at an after party for a high school reunion. And every episode is the perspective and the retelling of the events of that night through their own perspective. And they kind of almost change genres, going by person to person to person. So I watched all the first 7 episodes. The season will be 8 episodes, but I have not seen the finale, and it's killing me. But you guys need to watch this show. It's absolutely fantastic. I think I want to review it, so I'm not going to dive too much more into it. Next, I'm going to have Ozark, Season 4, Part 1, Episodes 1 and 2. Really strong start. Nail-biting, nerve-wracking stuff throughout those entire 2 hours. I think I'm forgetting something too, but
that's what I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, Boba Fett. I forgot. Boba Fett is in last place. I tapped out. You guys know this. I'm done. Done reviewing it. I'll come back to review the season, but I'm done reviewing it weekly. It's not giving me anything, this show. Number 1, Peacemaker. Peacemaker, again, we're going to save a lot of this conversation for the actual topic, but this show keeps on surprising me. And I have access already to the 5, 6, and 7, so I'll be watching them. Not yet, because I'm having trouble logging in. It's a whole thing. But I'll be watching them soon before they actually come out.
Piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. I hate that.
But yeah, this show keeps on surprising me.
Yeah,
for sure.
And dude, I'll be with you. Like, I haven't watched them because I'm trying to like hold out and like watch it early each week and then like do a review. I am trying so hard to get my girlfriend to watch this show though. She will not watch Peacemaker.
Why not?
John Cena. She hated Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad movie. So
give it a chance.
I've showed her clips, and she thinks it's funny. Like, I showed her the Batman joke this week.
Yeah.
And she thought it was hilarious, and she still won't watch it. I'm like,
show her the opening. Just show her the opening.
Oh, I have. She thinks it's funny.
Then watch the show.
She still won't watch it. She just
like, you need to give her something. Watch something for her so she'll watch Peacemaker.
I put on Twilight almost every fucking day she's here. That's all she
watches. Well, then you gotta stop putting on Twilight and say we'll only keep on watching if you watch Peacemaker.
Okay, I'm gonna send her this clip, and then she can tweet at you.
Yes, please do. Please do. Okay. All right, before we go officially into our first topic, then, Jack Alexander, my weekly ranking: Killer's Kiss. Don't think I've heard about this one. Pig, The Tragedy of Macbeth, Manchester by the Sea, and Licorice Pizza. Pretty good week overall. Pretty good week indeed. I mean, apart from Killer's Kiss, which I don't recognize, I at least liked every other film you have on your list. Maybe I would order it differently, but I think I like every movie you have on your list, Jack. Thank you for sharing. Movie Fan, weekly ranking. Number 1, House of Gucci. Was the only thing I watched this week other than a few TV shows, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. It was long but entertaining. I didn't feel the runtime. See, you are one of the lucky few, Movie Fan, because you were able to enjoy this one, and I'm incredibly jealous of you. So, yeah. I'm just happy you enjoyed it, my friend. Thank you for sharing. Luis Luciano, weekly ranking. Number 4, F9, rewatch. Number 3, Hairspray, 1988, rewatch. I didn't even know there was an 88 one. Number 2, Peacemaker. Number 1, Squid Game, rewatch. And now they're doing a fucking Squid Game universe. Christ. But yeah, and that is it. That's it for weekly rankings this week. All right, everyone. Thank you for sharing. All right, Zach, throw us into our first topic, because we're starting out with the bad news today, guys. Hang on before you do, Jiggly P. Weekly ranking. Number 4, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Number 3, Licorice Pizza. Number 2, Euphorious Episode 2. Number 1, Peacemaker Episode 4. I keep on forgetting on ranking the Euphoria episodes.
Same.
Uh,
It's the day after we do it, and then I forget
yeah, exactly.
it.
For me, it's Monday, but it's still a long time between then and then to now to watch it. I think I fully agree with this order, though. Like, Tammy Faye and Licorice Pizza are pretty close, but I feel I don't know. Depends on the day.
Pizza would have been my number 1. I like that movie.
But yeah, I think. Yeah, I think I agree with this order. All right, Zach. Without any further ado, take us into our first topic.
First topic, guys, is depressing news right above me about, I think, right over here. Or wait, no, it's over here, actually. All these movies. Mission Impossible 7 and 8 have been delayed again, which I have a theory on this one, so I'll talk about that in a second. Mission Impossible 7 has been moved from September to next July, I think, right? July,
yes.
It took Mission Impossible 8's release date. Mission Impossible 8 moved an entire year as well. I'm happy that still means they're going back-to-back with these. That's what makes me happy. I will say that. Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy to know that we're at least getting them back-to-back. It wasn't like, oh, Mission Impossible 8 moved fucking 2 years. Also, I'll say this. While it's depressing on this news, at least we know Mission Impossible 7 has been filmed. It's done. It's not like it's a figment of our imagination. Like, this movie will eventually come out. It's crazy, though. I did hear that they had already made a trailer for this movie. So that's why I have my theory of what's going on. But I'll give that in a second. I want to get your thoughts.
So Mission Impossible 7 will now open on July 14th, 2023, and then Mission Impossible 8 will open June 28th, 2024. So we got to stick around for a few more years, guys. We can't go anywhere. So at least until June 28th, 2024, we got to stick around. I thought at this point, Zach, that I had become numb to the delays, and then this one hits. Because it's not like Indiana Jones, where the last time it was delayed over a year, but we were still a year away from it. This one, we're already on that threshold. We once again put it on our most anticipated movies of the year list.
Oh, I didn't. This is why.
You didn't.
It's going to get pushed back.
That and Top Gun, man. That and Top Gun, for the past 5 years at this point. and it's gonna be on my most anticipated movies next year as well. But at least, hopefully, fingers crossed, Top Gun won't be there anymore. Knock on wood. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating because this one feels extra sad because you're not only they're making 2 movies. They're being filmed back to back and whatnot. They're the final 1-2 punches of this franchise that I personally love. I know you do as well. So many other people love. And so when you get to delay one, you're naturally going to delay the other. So you feel that effect, that sadness, that frustration, double. It's a double whammy every time they move this film. So I'm just sad. And I thought I wasn't affected anymore by this stuff, but I am. Here we are. It's disheartening. But what can you do? At least, again, hopefully we get a Tom Cruise fix this year and we get Top Gun.
Yeah, I think they would have delayed it yesterday. I think Paramount did all their delays. They also delayed the spinoff for A Quiet Place, whatever it's called, with the director from Pig.
Right.
That'll be going now instead of March of 2023, September, which...
Quiet Place adjacent.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. So here's my theory. I've heard for a long time that Paramount wants to sell to a big studio. I think this is why. I think they want that nice price tag on them and be like, hey, like, we have Top Gun coming out this year. That's really our only big movie, but look at what we have coming out. Mission Impossible 8, Quiet Place Part 3, or whatever the fuck they're calling it. But I've heard for a while that they want to sell. I think they're going to. And I was talking about this with a couple friends, so I wanted to ask you, Ren, who do you think they sell to? He thinks Apple.
I was gonna say at first when you were starting, because I knew where you were going with this, and as soon as you started the question, I was like Warner Brothers, and then I thought no, Warner Brothers was just sold. so they won't buy anything. So I have to agree. I think Apple, because I
Yeah,
think Apple wants to get, because there are movies that they're already putting movies in theaters, at least for limited theatrical runs to get
and I think they want to go
the
more
Oscar
serious
stuff.
with that, though.
But I think they want to get that clear division where Apple, straight up Apple stuff is the streaming service, and then they'll get Paramount, and that's their theatrical division.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I thought. I also thought about Amazon for a second, but Amazon just bought MGM, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, but for Amazon, money wouldn't be a problem. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Amazon this morning shat more money than you and I will ever see in our lifetimes times 100.
Exactly.
Like they wake up with, they breathe money at this point. So even though they just bought MGM, you are correct. I don't think that would be an hindrance whatsoever.
Not at all.
But I don't think they need it. Like because not because they bought MGM, but Amazon doesn't really need it now that they have MGM because they want content, they want properties, they want IP.
And that's
with
where
MGM,
Apple needs.
With MGM, it wasn't that expensive of a buy for Amazon, but with that they already got the IP. They got plenty of IP. They got James Bond. They got Rocky. They got a ton of other stuff. I'm blanking on right now. But for Apple, I think that's key.
And if
for
for some reason Apple didn't buy it, I have one studio that I feel like could buy it, and that's Universal. I think Universal is in dire need of. I know they have a lot of franchises. They have Fast and Furious, which is eventually going to come to an end. Then they'll either reboot it or do some fucking spinoff with it. But I really Jurassic Park, of course, but I could see Universal coming into play and being like, we want everything you guys have. Clifford, Mission. Don't ask. Clifford's a big IP. Clifford did way better than people expected it to be, especially on streaming. So,
I want a Jurassic World and Quiet Place crossover where the aliens are just fucked because oh shit, there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, they run out of T-Rex and it's just like
exactly
smacked. But yeah, sad news overall. I'll give it that.
Yeah, sad. So I gotta give this one. I gotta send this one to the dungeon because I don't like it. I want to see Mission Impossible now. Both of them right now. What about you, Zach?
Yep, same here, man. Give me up now. It's been too long. Also, how do you beat Fallout? The best, one of the best action films ever made.
It is true. It is true. A good question. There's no Henry Cavill in these next two. No Henry Cavill, so that's sad.
That we know of.
I'm just looking. By the way, I'm just looking at the topics. What I'm going to talk about right now, and what you're going to talk about, and you're getting all the shitty news. Apart from the last topic that you'll present, you're getting all the shitty news. I swear I didn't do it on purpose.
That's fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, for over a year now, I think, we have been looking forward to a ton of shows on Amazon. Last week, we talked The Boys. But this week, we got a title reveal for Amazon's Lord of the Rings series. It has been officially revealed that the title is Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which feels kind of redundant once you say it out loud, but nevertheless, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, this grand, massive presentation that apparently was practical effects of them smelting the swords and creating the fire and whatnot. The voiceover and the announcement itself, the pizzazz they gave to this whole thing was the most impressive of all, and it doesn't take away any of my excitement for this show. But I'm very indifferent to this title, gonna be honest. Doesn't excite me again. Doesn't excite me anymore, but doesn't take too much away. I could do with or without it. So it's a subtitle. It's there. Now I looked at the subtitle, and I'm going to tell you the first thing that popped into my mind was this would have been a cool subtitle for the Green Lantern show. So it's something that they needed to clearly differentiate from the movies for the general audience. But I personally would have done it without a subtitle. Zach, what do you think of the whole presentation? What do you think of the title? And yeah, what are your thoughts on this show? Does it take away any of your excitement? Does it increase it?
I mean, the whole presentation was cool, but I just kind of saw the logo and I'm like, sweet. Like, I don't think it was needed, but like, I'll also say this.
Yeah.
Fuck you, because when I review this, it's gonna be Lord of the Rings, The Ring of the Power, Episode 1 review. You know, like that's just gonna be annoying. That's annoying to me. So,
What if they call each episode a ring? Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Ring 1 review.
how about we shorten it? Because I
Which
mean,
one?
I would have just called it Lord of the Rings.
I probably will address it
Like,
as the
I
Lord
wouldn't
of the
mind
Rings.
if they addressed as the entire like this first season is Ring of Power. That would be fine with me. Like Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
like this is that. It's like the chapter for that. You know, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind that.
I think if they do that, it'll be confusing because then you just have to come up with subtitles every year, and I think at one point you'll run out of shit.
Yeah, maybe.
So I think they'll keep this one.
Lord of the Rings,
I just thought
Boogaloo.
it's fine. Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, at this point I just want a proper trailer, and you're goddamn sure I'm going to be reviewing this one because I'm lucky enough to have a good partnership with Amazon. So yeah, still not the most anticipated show this year. That still belongs to a certain other trailer we will talk about. It's one of them. It'd be top 10.
I need to see a trailer.
Just
It's
give
like
us a proper trailer at this point.
House of Dragons. I'm not excited for because I haven't really seen anything from it.
There's a trailer.
Yeah, it still didn't give me shit.
Oh, okay.
Just, like whatever.
I'm excited just because I love the cast and I love that era on the books. So yeah, I'm asking this one to go away and come back because the subtitle itself doesn't get me too excited for me to night it, but it also doesn't deserve the dungeon. How about you, Zach?
Same. It's fine.
Alrighty. Take us into our third topic, my friend.
Next, we have Black Panther: Wakanda Forever again. Halts production once again. Lupita Nyong'o and a couple other cast members have COVID, sadly, so hopefully they recover fast. So when's the delay coming for this one? I think we're all just like bracing for it at this point. Like, let's hear that official news that it's delayed. Now I know you and me have talked in private.
My mind's been sad on it for a while. Like this is not gonna come out this year.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't in my top 10 or even an honorable mention. I just haven't.
Well, and along with a few other reasons that we know.
Yeah. I will say, maybe we're both wrong. Maybe
yes, hopefully
he has something behind his back, and he's like, "It's coming out this year. Like, don't worry." There's I'm at like 20%. It's coming out this year. 80%. It's not. I'm not 100 yet, just because they
I'm
still
at
haven't
10. It's coming out this year.
Maybe they're trying to figure out, well, can Captain Marvel come out this year? Can Ant-Man come out? You know what I mean?
It is November. It is November when it is coming out. So depending on for how long they have to halt production, they can still make the date, I think. Yeah. Depending on how much they still have to shoot.
They're working on it still. Like, even though they're shut down, they're still doing CGI, editing. They're
still doing posts, dailies, etc. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're still working on stuff. It's not like they're like, oh, well, they have COVID. We can't do anything. Everyone go home, smoke some weed, get high, drink, eat some food, whatever you want to do.
Which I'm going to do to watch Jackass 2 weeks from now.
There you go. I can't wait to see Jackass. But yeah, I mean, but to me, out of every movie that is filming this year and coming out this year, Aquaman's done. This movie is still not done. And Aquaman's supposed to come out in December. And I'm still telling you guys, Aquaman is not fucking coming out this year. There's no fucking way Aquaman's coming out this year.
I think it is. I don't think they need to move it too much.
If they do move it, I would say, honestly, what they should do is move Flash to September, take Mission Impossible 7's release date, move Aquaman to November, leave Batgirl for December on HBO Max, and Avatar 2. Then just be done with it.
Because I agree with you. Aquaman is not staying on that date, the same date as Avatar. No. But I also don't think they need to move it too much.
Do you think it needs to move back or forward?
I think its safest bet is to move forward 2 weeks. Like one way or the other, you don't need to move a lot. Maybe put it like on the last weekend of the year. So 2 weeks forward, 2 weeks back, but you don't need to move it too much. That's why I still think it's coming out this year.
Mm-hmm. So true, because everyone who's shitting on Avatar, guys, don't count out James Cameron. I mean, even if the movie's just again fine.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing. Like, I really like the original Avatar.
I like it.
I'm not terribly excited for this, but you do not count out Jimmy Cams, as I call him.
Has he ever made a shitty movie?
Nope. Not that I've seen.
And especially when it comes to a sequel, has he ever made a bad sequel? He's always made arguably the best sequels. So
his sequels are better than his originals.
Exactly. Or the original, like Aliens for that matter.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, it sucks Black Panther gets halted again. I just more feel bad for everyone involved. Like, I can't imagine how exhausting this set is. And it makes me wonder the future of Black Panther after this, you know? That's where it makes me wonder. I don't know. It's starting to get to the point where should they have just really recast T'Challa? You know what I mean?
Yes, they should. You know what I'm going to say.
I know.
But yeah, this one is worrisome. Because this is one I wish I could be more excited for. But knowing certain things that we do know. Speaking of things we do know, Zach, you're supposed to have some info on the Flash this week.
Hopefully, man. I really hope. He has to fucking work the day before, and so he's hoping he can get
okay. I thought you were gonna. I thought he had seen it during this past week, and
I thought he did, and then I
had completely forgotten.
He goes, I meant it was this upcoming week.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, Black Panther 2, the hits just keep on coming for this film. It seems like a cursed production, sadly. But like Zach said, in Feige we trust, and we hope it comes out the best, even better than the first one, the best Marvel movie of 2022. Fingers crossed. All the fingers crossed for this one, man, because I really don't want to have a new bottom film for the MCU. And so I hope it's not this one. But I have to send this one to the dungeon because it's just not good. It's not a good sign for what is going on in that production. And again, the hits just keep on coming. Everything is just attacking the making of this film. So it goes down there for me. How about you, Zach?
Yeah, same, man. It's sad. I hope it, eventually gets there.
Yeah. But speaking of good MCU news, ladies and gentlemen, this week, it wasn't Monday for me, but Tuesday, I woke up to a really nice present. And we talked about it on the live stream on Tuesday as well, Moon Knight. The first trailer for Moon Knight is out, and it just captures everything I love about this character. The mythology, the individual look. Oscar Isaac is playing this character on so many levels now. It is clear from that trailer. And it just feels like a very different approach to what we've seen so far on the show's side of the MCU. It looks much more gritty. It looks very dark. It looks more akin to the Netflix shows than it does the Disney Plus shows, if I'm completely honest. And I think me and a lot of people said kind of that about Hawkeye, in the sense that the street level had the same kind of feel when it comes to how well we could grasp the threat and the relatability to those characters. But this has that gritty, visceral, violent feel of the Netflix shows, particularly of Daredevil and Punisher. So you guys know what I thought about this trailer. I loved it. I'm completely in love with this. I recommend you guys some Moon Knight comics. I recommend this guy some Moon Knight comics already on a private chat. So I haven't talked with him directly about this trailer. I know he did a trailer reaction. So Zach, your thoughts on the Moon Knight trailer?
Oh man. It's everything I want it to be and more. I'm so fucking excited for this movie. Fun fact, the director actually follows me for this. I didn't know that. The
Ah,
guys who did Synchronic, they follow me. I
yeah,
didn't know that until the
nice.
trailer came out. But I I mean, Moon Knight has been my most like anticipated TV project for Marvel and my second most anticipated like project for Phase 4 since it was announced. I'm more excited for this than Doctor Strange now.
Wow.
Hands down. And it's mostly just the fact that I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be fucking hyped when I see Doctor Strange, but like this just you said it goes back down that street level. It looks visceral, it looks brutal, looks intense, and I love that they are playing around with the multiple personalities. I love the voice that Oscar Isaac's doing, the accent.
Yes.
um I love Oscar Isaac already. Ethan Hawke's looking menacing. I love the
Halt
suit.
later. I love the suit. It
The
looks
eyes.
old, ragged. It's just the
Yeah.
mummy tapes and
And I'm
all.
gonna tell you right now,
Love it.
I believe by the end of the show he'll probably have a new suit or some shit like that. That's more
Yeah, by
I
the
think
end,
than what
I'm
he
sure.
has.
Yeah.
And then when he's fighting whatever that creature was, whether it's Anubis, the werewolf, whatever,
hmm
it's fucking cool, man. Like it looks awesome. And it looks like a trip. And I'm curious to see how they do the show because I think this could be the next WandaVision where people are like, oh, is it in his head? Is it not? Type of situation
hmm
where like us as comic book fans will be like, nah, it's all real. Just fucking weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never thought I would. I'm gonna be honest. I never thought. I mean, if you would have told me, hey Zach, in 11 years they're gonna do Moon Knight, I would have told you you're fucking shitting me, man. Because the think like we started.
11 years ago, I'd say, who's Moon Knight?
Oh, really? You didn't know? Lies. You didn't know who Moon Knight was?
11 years ago, I don't think so. Because I started getting into the more, like,
Okay.
beyond the Hulks, the Captain Americas, the X-Men's, the Spider-Mans. I started getting into the more niche characters around 11 years ago. It was like to
Okay.
2010, 2011. That's when I started like deep
This was
diving
like
into
one of the
everything.
characters that so like when I was younger, I used to think I thought he was Batman. He was Batman. So I would buy like anytime we'd go to the store and I'd see like a comic of him, I'd be like, oh, I want that. So I'd like buy
Yeah.
it. But I never like finish issues or anything. I just buy comics. So I've always thought he was cool. I'm really, really excited to see what they do with this. It's my most anticipated. That trailer was everything. I hope it's not shit. And I really, really hope it's not fucking 30 minutes per episode. But I will say, I think that we're gonna get 2 episodes first day. I'm still telling you, man, May 4th will be Obi-Wan. We're gonna get Obi-Wan,
May the 4th.
and we're gonna
Hello
get
there.
Doctor Strange in the first week of May. So
Yeah. Wait, isn't Doctor Strange May 25th?
no, that's no, it's
No,
first
because
weekend.
it was March 25th. But when is it now? I know it's May,
It's
but I
May
don't remember
6th.
the
It's
date.
literally
May
that week.
6th. Okay, yeah, 2 days later. Yeah, Friday. All right, makes sense. But yeah, this trailer is fantastic. I love it, and again, just feels so different. And I guess if you haven't liked too many of the Disney Plus shows thus far, I get not being excited for this, especially because it's a character we don't know yet. Like most people, at least, don't know yet. But I've liked most of them thus far. WandaVision is great. Loki, best one yet by far. Falcon Winter Soldier, I like. Like the issues have always been clear, but it lingers well in memory for me. Hawkeye, I thought it was solid. Um, and what else is there? What if? What if? I think it's wildly inconsistent, but that's something that naturally comes with the show that has such a episodic premise like that. But Moon Knight, it's too much up my alley for me not to be excited. So it gets a big night for me. How about you, Zach?
Same. I love this trailer. I literally watched it multiple times. I was at my girlfriend's house that day, so I
Same.
actually filmed my reaction there. Then I was showing everyone in the place. I was like, hey, you gotta watch this. Hey, you gotta watch this. Like, everyone's gotta see this trailer. So yeah, I'm super, super excited.
All right. Take us into the next topic, my friend. The penultimate topic.
The next topic we have is Peacemaker episode 4 is the worst one yet. And I think this is kind of where we
The worst one?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay. You said it so nonchalantly. I was like, wait, did I type that?
No, Peacemaker episode 4 is the best one yet. The show continues to surprise and surprise and get more fun and more fun. And I'm on board with Vigilante now. I like him now. He is fucking funny. The scene in the prison, I was fucking losing it. I love this show. I love this show, and I can't tell you, I have never been this excited to watch a fucking intro to a show more than I am with Peacemaker. Probably WandaVision was the last one where I was pretty excited. But like, tell me, do you really want to taste it? And it's just so fucking great. Like, this is this a one season, or are we getting more, you think?
We're at least getting a season 2.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah, James Gunn has confirmed it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if we get anything beyond that, but we're at least getting a season 2. Okay. So, reiterating what I said last week, and by the way, when speaking of these shows, we're not going to dive super deep, but we want to be free and let you guys know that we might talk spoilers. So if you have not seen Peacemaker, mute this right now, and when I take this Peacemaker spoilers thing off, that's when we end the spoilers. So if you have not seen Peacemaker, mute it. You don't want to get spoiled. You do want to watch this show right now. So to reiterate what I said last week, I was less and less excited the closer we got to this show. I had not been excited for this for a while. And then those first 3 episodes really caught me by surprise. They have the humor, but they have an earnestness to it that really surprised me, how it fully commits to itself, to its own weirdness and violence and off-puttingness, per se, really took me by surprise. And then this episode slows everything down. And it's just... It dives deep into these characters and their damage, and how stagnant their growth has become as social creatures, as human beings in general. Where it's always fucking awkward when you see a moment of vulnerability, a moment of kindness. It always comes across very awkwardly, purposely so, because these people don't know what kindness is. They don't know what it's like to ask someone else, "Are you okay? Do you want to talk?" And I love how this episode approaches that. And how little by little you start to peel the layers of every single one of these characters. Where Halcourt, who's really stealing the show for me, if not for Peacemaker. This is an incredibly damaged woman. And we still don't know why. Like, we can start to guess. She's alluded to it. And I hope the rest of the series continues to dive into her. But this is an incredibly damaged person that is very... I don't even want to say defensive, because she just attacks. You try to have a normal conversation, she pushes you away. She doesn't want to let anyone in. And that just shows a real hurt on somebody. Somebody that has been hurt constantly and consistently throughout her life. Peacemaker, that final moment where you have, again, the soundtrack, by the way, continues to kill. And the playlist is already on Spotify and every week they add the songs from the new episode to the playlist. So get on that, because that's what I'm listening to right now at the gym, because it's very appropriate. Bar one or another, because they always have one ballad per episode, so I'm obviously not going to listen to ballads at the gym. But like that final montage with the House of Pain playing, and you have Halcourt taking Vigilante out of prison after he puts himself out there to try and help his friend, and then you see Peacemaker that has just become that has just been so heartbroken by his dad, and he has to come to terms in this episode like, my dad is a shitty person, a very shitty person. And then you just see how much more natural and much more of himself he really is when he's just with Eagly and the butterfly. Like, whenever he's with humans, he doesn't know how to act. This dude has a complete disorder in terms of his social. He's completely social inept. And I love how this episode kind of dissects them as people. Like, at first, it really wasn't working for me. I'm like, okay, why are we slowing things down now? Like, keep going. But no, this episode was really important, and it really works for me. Zach, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I love that. It's the best one yet. The most hilarious, but also the most heartfelt one in the way that it, again, you mentioned Hardcore, Vigilante, Peacemaker, learning more about Peacemaker's dad and that trauma between them both. And I saw a person do a YouTube video. I gotta find it. It's actually really good, but
it was my review. My review is now up. That's what he's talking about.
It is. Well, I did watch your review.
Well, thank you, sir.
The criticism that you had in the first 3 episodes about how this feels like a different Peacemaker.
I did address that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I saw a video where a guy actually he said that he had the same issue you did, but he was reviewing the 4th one and he goes, "No, this is the same person, but there's a lot more to this guy under it." And I love how we keep seeing that same thing of Rick Flag saying Peacemaker.
What a joke.
What a joke. Because it really did mentally fuck him up that he had to kill Rick Flag.
Yeah.
And
it shows kind of how in the first 3 episodes, all that we saw and how different he felt to that Peacemaker, it was all kind of a defense mechanism for himself.
Mm-hmm. And John Cena, I don't think he's a great actor, but he is fucking excellent in this show. He is excellent. Not just on the humor scale. This is
no. Yeah. I agree. He's really surprised. Like, John Cena is not a great thespian. Like, Batista, he took years to get better, and now he's one of really good actors. Denis Villeneuve wants to work with Batista for a reason.
Yeah.
But John Cena is really surprising me in this. And like, I'm not saying he has the talent of a Batista. Like, John Cena, as much as he does a good job at peeling back these layers, he's not
the best actor.
Yes,
best Rutger Gone actor. I mean, that's just
he's not. He's not doing a Dave Bautista in Blade Runner 2049, for instance. You know, but he's doing a really good job in this. Like, I didn't think Cena. That's what we call him, by the way, Cena. I didn't think he would do this, particularly what he does in the 4th episode. I didn't think he would be able to pull this off.
Which, that's where I go. James Gunn is one of the best directors and writers in Hollywood. That's why everyone always wants to work with him. And I low-key want him to do an original property again. But I also am very selfish, and I'm like, please stop. Never stop in the comic book world. You know? I'm really excited to see what he does with Guardians 3. Also, I have not said my prediction yet, but obviously, the guy who is playing the butterfly for their team.
Oh, man.
I knew he was a fucking butterfly. He is going to be in Guardians 3.
I didn't call it, but I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Ren, I think I know who he's going to be playing in Guardians 3.
You do?
I think so. I got a gut feeling on this. When I saw his casting and then watching him in this show, I think he's playing the High Evolutionary. In Guardians 3.
That's what I've heard.
Okay, that's what I'm going with. I don't know anything about the High Evolutionary. Is this something you're excited about? I've seen him.
It's a Jack Kirby character, so yes.
Okay, that's exciting then. And James Gunn is doing it.
It's a Jack Kirby character being done by James Gunn, so yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
have to do with Adam Warlock?
Yes, kind of, sort of. Depends on what origin you go to. Like,
who else is he related to? Would you say out of the group, like Rocket?
No, Rocket.
Okay.
Yes, not Star-Lord. Rocket, yeah, I would say Rocket
Okay. That makes sense
out of the
more
Guardian.
because we know this story is gonna be a lot on Rocket, so
Yeah.
I'm still
Uh,
fingers crossing Lila's in it. The otter. I really want the otter in there.
I wouldn't doubt he is. His first appearance was in Thor, by the way. So with the Guardians in Thor, I wouldn't be too shocked. Depending on how long they're in Thor. But I also want to reiterate my prediction that I did in my review. Um, that I think our big bad this season is not even going to be the butterflies. It's going to be the white
Oh
dragon.
no. Oh yeah,
Um,
I agree. I
they're
don't think the
building him
butterflies
up.
are that bad. I think we're gonna end up
Uh,
finding out they're not bad.
yeah, but I wonder what Mern's purpose is then. Because why is he killing butterflies if he is one? Because he is killing them.
Maybe he's
He
the bad
wants
one.
to kill them. Yeah, maybe. But I'm curious. Like, the plot just thickened, as they
Yeah.
usually say. But all right. So I think we're both giving this one a night, Zach. Correct?
Big night.
Correct.
Not the white dragon night, but like
Not the white dragon. No, 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 no. If you just search White Dragon DC Comics on Google, the images that come up, you'll realize, oh, okay, that's where we're going. All right. Think Stormfront from The Boys.
good casting on that though.
Good casting.
on that.
Kirkpatrick is
Great
great.
casting,
Yeah.
Fucking great casting, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our final topic. And we're so excited to talk about this. Number one, The Batman. It runs at 2 hours and 55 minutes with credits. Thank you. Can I have some more, please? But our real, we just want to address that real quick, but our real topic is that yesterday, or 2 days ago for you Americans, for me it was yesterday, I woke up to it. It was the first thing I listened to in the morning. Michael Giacchino's main theme for the Batman has been revealed and has been released for the public. And I think it is spectacular. It features the darkness, the grittiness, the ruthlessness that comes with the Batman, but it also showcases the humanity and the vulnerability behind it. And I already ordered the Funko Pops, but that's completely unrelated. I think this theme is really special, and only in the film it will be even better in context because it starts dark and then it brings up this kind of
I
hopefulness
was so
that
surprised by that.
of what the Batman is, what the Batman symbolizes. Then it goes back to the darkness, to but not necessarily like the darkness where you're kind of afraid. It's that darkness that you recognize in the Batman, and you know the Batman is a darker character, but you still go fist bump in the air when you think of the Batman. And I think this film itself will also dive into that, where Batman is just, this is his first year or second year of being the Batman, and he's just completely unhinged. He's a monster. For the villains in Gotham, he's the boogeyman. He's the one under their beds at night that they're afraid of. But I think through this film, Bruce will learn that he can be a symbol, not just for the villains, the bad guys to be afraid of, but a symbol that Gotham can have hope
And needs and
and
needs.
needs. And I think that's going to be really special. That's going to make this Batman really special. But also, I'm a score guy, so I'm going to overanalyze the shit out of this
I
theme.
think you're
Zach,
no, I think you're completely right.
Zach, your thoughts on this theme?
I'm gonna try not to cry on this because I fucking cried when I listened to the score. For people who don't know, if you're new to this and you haven't seen me or Ren before, or even me talked about the Batman, this is my most anticipated film of all time. I'm literally so fucking excited for this movie. I've literally like Spider-Man and Batman have always been my two favorite superheroes, but with Batman, I've literally loved this character so much, and I was so sad when Ben Affleck was like, I'm out. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Who you getting? And then I find out Matt Reeves. I'm like, fuck me. Okay, let's do that. Then the rumors circulate that Robert Pattinson's going to be Batman. And I'm like, fuck me. Okay, let's go. Then Zoe Kravitz, then Paul Dano, then Colin Farrell. And then the cast just grew from
Jeffrey
there.
Wright.
You know. Yep, Jeffrey Wright. Greg Fraser is doing the cinematography. It's just kept growing.
Mm-hmm.
So every amount, again, when I say every amount that I've wanted to know, I don't mean spoiler-wise. Thank God I don't know much about this movie. And thank God I don't, because I don't want to.
I still only seen the first trailer.
That's great. That is great. For 2 hours and 55 minutes, that first off, the theme is great. And I was reading interviews. I don't know how many, if you read any of the new interviews with Reeves, he said that Giacchino made this theme before they even casted Pattinson. And before he went in to do the camera test on Pattinson, Matt Reeves was listening to the theme in his car with the producer, and they went in, and Matt Reeves said the only thing I could imagine was Pattinson walking out to that music, which makes sense because when we do see the camera thing of Pattinson when the suit was revealed, we got the
it has that theme as well.
And so the fact that Giacchino from the start had already had this in mind, it's great.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. There's been a lot of iconic Batman scores.
This is yet another one.
This might be my favorite one.
Really? I don't know.
I mean,
because we haven't listened to the score. Maybe theme?
Theme-wise, yes.
I think maybe theme, but I need to let it sink in. I need to let it linger for me to be fully confident on whether it's my least favorite, most favorite, whatever. But the idea just hit me. The thought just hit me, Zach, that this theme is what it is. We love this theme. How good is the rest of the score? Yeah. How good is the score for those action sequences? How good is Riddler's theme? How good is that finale? That that overture, that suite that they put on in the end for the credits. I cannot wait for this. Every frame of this film, every element of the cinematography, the costume design, the production. I'm flipping out. I need this movie immediately, and it comes out just in time for my birthday, which, by the way, I don't know if I'm going to get a screener, but I will for sure get a review. I do not know, however, if we're going to have a show on March 5th, because I might be going to Edinburgh with my housemates for the weekend. But yeah.
I will say, though, and I'm going to say it here. I'm not going to say it anywhere else. I know someone that's seen the movie. That's all I'll say. I know a lot of people have actually started to say it. A lot of people, we're not ready. That's all I know.
You're not ready for my movie.
Exactly, man. Like, this is, all I know is if this, my expectations are so fucking high, I need to start checking them. But and I was telling our good friend Cody Curtis of the channel, I was telling him yesterday, I said, if this movie hits my expectations, or even exceeds them, how Endgame was for you, Ren, this would be in my top 5 of all time. Fucking hands down. Hands down.
Same here, maybe.
Minutes, man.
Same here. And by the way, I should have already started it, but I want to announce right here that two years ago, well, not exactly 2 years yet, but before Tenet came out, I reviewed every single Christopher Nolan movie except the Batman movies. So, in the next few upcoming weeks, before this one comes out, the Dark Knight Trilogy will get reviews on my channel. So, keep an eye out for that.
The George Clooney one?
No, I don't even want to touch the Michael Keaton ones, because I just was never a fan of those ones.
They're dated. I'd say that.
I will watch the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton ones before the George Clooney one, particularly. But I don't have time to review 7 movies. But I will go back to those 3 movies that I absolutely love from my favorite director, my favorite superhero, and one of them is the film that made me realize I want to direct movies.
I just one last thing.
I
want to mention one more thing. The fact that
Go ahead.
Matt, because if people don't remember, Matt Reeves and Warner Brothers almost broke up, and then Matt Reeves ended up coming in.
That was a fallout,
and they they came back together, which thank God they did. I mean, we haven't even seen the movie, so I might see the movie and be like, that was terrible. But just to say that, I think that is big stuff to hear that Warner Brothers, said, okay, do what you want. Because I think originally Warner Brothers probably wanted him to make it interconnective. I think that's the truth.
Yeah.
But then I think they probably heard the pitch, got the idea, and they're like, okay. I know the test screenings for this, they ran 2 different versions. One was Reeves' version, one was the studio's version, and Reeves' version was the one that got the outstanding pick. So we are getting Matt Reeves' version. And this is the only beginning. Like, if they do more Batman movies, which we know they will, how fucking long are those ones going to be, Ren? We getting a 4-hour movie with intermission?
Maybe.
So,
all right.
Let's do it.
This gets a massive night from me. Gets a massive night from you. I'm guessing.
Dark Knight, yeah.
The Dark Knight. So right now, let's go into your live. As we're just hitting the 1 hour mark, let's go into your live questions, everybody. Remember, you can just throw them into the live chat and we'll do our best to get to it, or you can actively support the channel and we guarantee your question will be immediately answered by going through the tip link in the description. All right, let's start with and our first question. Here we go. Nathan Holton, thoughts on Robert Pattinson, new upcoming sci-fi film with the Parasite director Bong Joon-ho. I stayed away from this for the most part. I know it's called Mickey 7 or something like that.
Yep.
The most interesting thing about this, obviously, apart from this incredible pairing of Robert Pattinson and Bong Joon-ho, 2 people that I will just watch anything they're in because they're in it, is that it's based on a book, and the writer of the book sent the manuscript directly to Bong Joon-ho for him to direct the movie adaptation. That's the most interesting part about this. And I'm really interested to see what comes of this because great actor, fantastic director, really excited. How about you?
Very, very excited. You just had to sell me on Bong Joon-ho and Robert Pattinson. That's it. That's literally all I needed to know. Besides that, I like the concept. I read what the concept was. It's really unique. So I'm down for it.
All righty. Next up, we got looking for question marks. Looking for question marks to find the next question.
I just remembered I forgot another movie I watched this week. God fucking damn it.
What is it? While I search for
I saw The Worst Person in the World, and it was absolutely fucking
that's right. I also watched that this week.
It was
on Monday.
Great. It was so
It's really good. Yeah.
I was very worried it wasn't gonna live up to like the hype, but I was very
I like a lot of people that saw it last year at LFF, none of my friends, they would have it on like their top 5 of the year, not even top 10, top 5.
It would have been in my
top 5.
It would have been in my top 10, not in my 5.
It wouldn't be on my top 10. It would have missed it. It would have missed out. If I did a top 25, then it would get on there. Because you definitely start to feel the runtime as it comes.
I do agree with that. I don't think the epilogue was needed either.
No, it wasn't. Next up, we have. All right, Eric Thorpe. So I'm actually excited for the live-action Snow White from Disney because of the casting. I think Ziegler and Godot, I never know. I don't care either. Feel like the characters from the animated film brought to life. I can't be too excited for this one. I thought Rachel Zegler did a phenomenal job in West Side Story, particularly because it is her debut performance. That's a debut performance you should all be surprised by, Academy, not Alana Haim. But Godot as the Evil Queen, I'm not too sure. Then you got, look, Mark Webb did 500 Days of Summer. He didn't just do the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but it's been a while. Everything else he's done since then has been not good, in my opinion. So I can't be too excited for this one. And one thing we didn't talk about, Zach, on this week's news, is the live-action Aristocats that they've announced. I'm a huge fan of the Aristocats. If you guys don't know, I think it's a highly underrated Disney movie. So much fun, bless you.
Thank you.
Such a unique style to it, and I'm a fan for the most part of the Disney live-action movies. Aristocats is not one that needs to be live-action whatsoever. Like, it's just
I don't even know why
not
we're doing it.
calling for it. I would say I'm more excited for Snow White than Aristocats, just because, yeah, I can see a Snow White working on live action, and maybe they do the necessary update. Just the team involved is not the most exciting for me, apart from Zegler.
Gal
but yeah.
Gadot's the evil witch too.
Yes.
Oh.
Imagine all the people. So Aquaman gets released the same day. Which one will move? It's gonna be Aquaman. It has to be Aquaman for sure.
They can't delay They can't delay Avatar again. And
No,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we get our first teaser or trailer at the Super Bowl.
For Avatar.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Wow. Okay.
It doesn't have to be long. 30 seconds. Hey, it's coming out this year. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, but I think we addressed how we think it moves, but yeah, it's gonna be Aquaman that moves. No way Avatar is the one that moves. Not even that they can't, they don't need to. It's Aquaman that should be afraid. But yeah. All right. Next up, next question we have. This is interesting. Is it true that George Clooney directed an episode of Moon Knight? It would not be accurate to say it's true, but it would not be accurate to say it isn't true. There have been several rumors about that for a while now, but we just don't know because it's not been fully confirmed anywhere. So then I'm going to transform your question a little bit, movie fan. What if he has directed? What if? Marvel connection right there. What if he did direct an episode of Moon Knight? I'm going to agree with Zach. I think it'll probably be the worst. A competent episode. A fine episode for sure. But I like two movies that George Clooney has directed. In all of his filmography, I like two of the films he's done. So I can't get too excited about it.
One of them is that Matt Damon movie, Suburbicon.
No, I hate Suburbicon. I despise that movie.
Never seen it.
I hate that film. And it's not only that he directed it. I'm disappointed because it's written by Ethan Coen.
Do you know they were originally supposed to direct it?
Yes, because it very much feels like a copy of their films, but not done by them. So yeah. But it's awful. Don't watch it. Do not watch it.
I think everyone should. Except me, I'll never watch it.
One of the ones I like, Good Night and Good Luck, and I really like The Ides of March, which is him and Ryan Gosling. That one is really good. So yeah. Next question. All right, Zach, by the way, when you talked about that Princess Diana thing on your weekly ranking, got me thinking something. Do you like that Princess Diana thing more or Spencer more? Good question. I was actually going to ask you that.
Hell no. The documentary Spencer was my 10th favorite film of last year. Hell no. The documentary is good, but it's just a good double feature. It doesn't even have a stand to Spencer. Spencer's a fucking masterpiece. I don't care what anyone says. That movie's fucking great.
All right. Ren, we're less than a week until the release of Pokemon Legends Arceus. How excited are you? Also, I'm definitely going to play the game while watching Geeks at Roundtable next week. I'm excited, but I don't think I am financially able to buy it next week. I have an Amazon tab open for it because I'm tempted, but I just don't think I can afford it right now. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be getting it next week, but I am excited. I'm looking forward to seeing more of the exclusive Pokemon on that one. All right.
Can I just say, Ren?
Yes.
I would wait for the reviews on this one. That's what I've heard.
I never watch game reviews though.
No, I know, but I would definitely maybe get it when it's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. If I don't get it at full price, if I can't afford it at all during the time it is at full price, I'll definitely get it when it's cheaper. Next up. More questions, everybody. Come on. Ren and Zach, do you have any movie soundtracks that you have multiple copies of when it comes to digital and physical release? 2 of 2. For me, I have both digital and physical copies of both the Annabelle, Annette Ken's edition, and the Ultimate Edition soundtracks. I got my physical copy of the Unlimited Edition yesterday. No, I don't collect soundtracks physically. I don't care to. Digitally, I think I have the Nice Guys soundtrack. I have the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. I have the Suicide Squad soundtrack. I have the Peacemaker soundtrack. I have the Pulp Fictions, and most of the Tarantino soundtracks are there. Edgar Wright soundtracks also there. So yeah, but I don't care to buy soundtracks physically. How about you, Zach?
Nah, I don't have time. I have 2 records. Or 3. I have a Steamboat Willie record, I have a Matrix record, and I have a Army of Darkness record. I never bought one though. They were all given to me. So
all right, somebody bought them though. Eric Thorpe reviews weekly ranking. Number 1, Game of Thrones season 6, episodes 1 through 5. Number 2, The Suicide Squad. Number 3, Peacemaker, episode 1 through 4. Number 4, Being the Ricardos. Number 5, The Power of the Dog. Number 6, The Book of Boba Fett, episodes 3 and 4. I would definitely put episode 3 above The Power of the Dog, but not episode 4. But yeah, overall, I think I very much agree with your ranking, my friend. I think I'm with you right there. I don't know if I'd put episodes 1 through 3 above Being the Ricardos, but I definitely put episode 4 of Peacemaker above Being the Ricardos. All right. Is it just me, or does the Batman look like it could be a lot like the Telltale series? Could Joker appear first as John Doe type version of the character at first? Never play the Telltale series. Never. I played the Game of Thrones one. I played most of the episodes of the Game of Thrones one, but I know I never finished it. I don't know why. But the Batman one, I never even started. Again, also don't know why, but I couldn't opinionate on it. Zach, did you play these series? Do you know what Eric is suggesting?
I played every single one of their games except the Batman one. Don't ask why. I just kind of like it became the exact same game, and that's the reason I never even beat the Walking Dead ones. I beat 1, 2, thought they were fucking great. Started 3, and I was so disappointed. And then I loved Wolf Among Us. Borderlands was fine. Guardians was fine. Game of Thrones I thought was just fine. It just came to the point where I just didn't care anymore. So then I never played Batman,
Mm-hmm.
but I heard Batman was great. So,
all right. I haven't even listened to the Batman theme yet that came out yesterday. Ren and Zach, should I get it? And how fantastic would you say this theme is? Well, we discussed how fantastic it is. Should you get it? Yeah, it's just a click away on Spotify. Just go to Matt Reeves' Twitter, and he has the link right there. Or Michael Giacchino's Twitter. But if you want to get it, go to Spotify, and that's where they have like a playlist where it's the Batman theme, the Batman theme first and foremost, and they have a ton of the scores for the other Batman movies. Tommy Age. Okay, this is a conversation that he is having with Eric. I apologize for interrupting everyone. Does this mean by by the time we get to the third movie, Batman Trilogy, it'll be as long as the Snyder Cut. It'll be longer than the Snyder Cut because just this first one is almost as long as the Snyder Cut. It's only 1 hour off. So by the time we get the second movie, it will already be longer than the Snyder Cut. All right. Ren, you never revealed what your other favorite superhero was along with Batman on your Moon Knight trailer live stream. Who's your other favorite superhero? Well, I never revealed it because you guys didn't guess, but my other favorite hero, Zach, I think you know this. Do you know what my number one favorite superhero of all time is, tied with Batman?
Hulk, right? From the comics?
Yes, you are correct. Yes, sir. See, he knows me too well. But yes, it's the Hulk. Batman and the Hulk are my number one.
I was about to
Number
say, because if
ones
we're talking movies,
of
I know
all
it's
time.
different, but I know comic-wise it's Hulk.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I glitched out for a sec. I apologize. Where am I? Where am I? All right. Ryan and Zach, did you see my tweet about which movies were eligible for the Best Picture category? Also, Oscar nominations are February 8th at this point. No, did not see the tweet. February 8th. What day of the week is that? I'm
Tuesday.
guessing it's going to be... It's a Tuesday. Yeah, we'll probably have provided I'm not attending a screening, hopefully not at that time of the day. At that point, we'll have a live stream reacting to the snubs, the surprises, the shocks,
The bullshit.
and the bullshit and everything in between. February 8th, be there or be square. I don't know.
I did see the tweet. I did see the tweet.
Okay.
I didn't have time to reply back, but the thing with it was just like a long list of every film that's eligible for the Oscars. And once I saw Clifford was in there, I was like, okay, so it's every film pretty much that came out. That's pretty much it. The Oscars does it every year.
Yeah. Name top 3 or 5 favorite films of this last year that aren't award season films. Malcolm and Marie would be my number one that isn't award season, because it was for last year already. Spider-Man No Way Home. What else? A Quiet Place Part 2 is not going to be an award season.
I mean,
film.
arguably all these films could be nominated, though.
That's
Not
true.
they won't, but
apart from Malcolm and Marie. In Shang-Chi would be the next one for me, I think. And yeah, that's it. How about you, Zach?
Spider-Man, The Suicide Squad, and I would say The Green Knight, because doubt The Green Knight's getting a Best Picture nomination.
Yeah, true. All right.
Or should I say Mask? Because Mask probably also won't get a nomination for anything. Could this be another year for movies being delayed? Not as bad.
No, it's not. Knock on wood. I don't think we're ever going to get as bad as we were once, in 2020. Because like Zach said, this isn't fully COVID. They didn't delay it a year, and it was only coming out in September. They didn't delay it over a year, almost a year, because of Omicron. So I wouldn't. Right now, at least, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Can you guys comment on the Krasinski Multiverse of Madness rumors? Do you think or know they are true? Would you rather wait for him to premiere in Fantastic Four? Does this mean he isn't 616 Reed?
I don't know what 616 is. What's that?
It's the Earth.
Oh, okay. Is that like the Earth they're on right now?
Yeah. The MCU Earth is Earth 616, which is also the main timeline in the comics. How do we want to address this? Okay. I'm going to answer your question this way, Tommy. Do we know if they are true or not? Yes, we know the answer to whether it's true or not. Um, that's all we can say. Because I've given the link to this podcast to my reps at Disney. So
Yeah,
in case they're watching,
I mean the other thing I'll say is like, I mean, anything can be true. Any rumor can be
yeah,
true. It's multiverse of madness. I mean, how many rumors have there been about? I mean, I've heard rumors about Tom Cruise showing up. I've heard rumors about fucking Ben Affleck.
yeah,
I've heard every single actor at this point. Um, I don't know. I don't know why the Krasinski one is the one getting so much traction, and I think it's
hmm
just because it's been such a high fan casting, you
hmm
know. Um, so I don't know, because there were some rumors that I heard where I'm like, oh yeah, that's so gonna happen, and then I heard otherwise they're like, nah, no, it didn't happen, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
so like this same rumor that's going around,
yeah,
me and Ren, if we heard that it was true, we could be like, okay, like this is gonna be awesome. 3 months from now, they might decide, nope, we're not doing it anymore. Thanks
yeah,
for coming in, John Krasinski. We're gonna do something else. I'm not saying that's what they're gonna do, but that's what these rumors are. I'm kind of annoyed though that we're getting so many, and it's just kind of annoying at this point. Like let's just see
yeah.
the movie. Like these are surprises that I wish, and I hope there's still more. Could you guys imagine if we saw No Way Home and didn't know? You
Yeah,
know, like that would have been fucking cool. Like that would have
it
been
was.
perfect. So it was
That's
still
true.
exciting, but like I don't know. It could be real, it could be not. I don't know. Like us not
Mhm.
saying yes or no to it isn't giving the answer. If I'm being honest, it's more of just we don't know 100% because we're not there on set.
Yeah,
We're not there every day.
Kevin Feige is stealing my pitches, but it doesn't give me anything, you know.
Exactly.
Eric Thorpe, will the Batman be the
No.
second pandemic era movie to pass a billion? Do you think? I don't think it's hitting a billion.
No. It could. It could.
It
Has
could.
potential.
I hope it does. If it's as good as it's looking, if it's
Yeah.
as good as my anticipation for it is, but I don't think it's hitting a billion. A Batman movie, has it ever hit a? I don't think a Batman movie has
Yes.
ever.
Dark Knight
It
Rises
has.
has.
Dark Knight Rises. Okay.
That's it. That's
Okay.
the only one.
It's one. And a lot of people are going to be 3 hours. I don't know
Oh,
about that. And a lot of people still don't like that Robert Pattinson is Batman. You know. So I don't know. I don't know. I hope it does, and if it's as good as we're expecting it to be, I hope it does. But all right. Um, Luis Luciano, hey Ren and Zach, how would you market Moon Knight now that Gas? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about this. Now that Gaspard Ulliel tragically died, he's one of the villains. And how would you go about the actors doing interviews for it?
I
Just
didn't
the
know he was a
actors.
villain.
Don't ask about the guy. Simple as that. And that's not even on the actors. That's on the interviewers. Um, but I completely forgot about this because I have never seen this actor in anything. So I was not familiar with him. But it's a very sad tragedy, like a freak accident. Like
Yeah.
37
Super
is way
young
too young.
too.
Yeah. But yes, he is one of the villains of Moon Knight. So I go about it naturally. Like it's a tragedy that it happened, but you don't need to hide away. Like it's not like he was brutally murdered. It's not like you can do anything about it. Maybe if you can, depending on like if he has a suit, a costume on the show, just show stuff of him in the costume as Midnight Man. But um, but I wouldn't say they have to do anything one way or the other. Um, definitely, I hope they have a for Gaspard or in memory of Gaspard or something in the show.
I'm sure they
But
will. Like the
yeah,
first
but
episode he appears in.
yeah, but you don't have to do much about it. Like it's a delicate situation. Like either don't address it, or when it comes to interview time, fully dedicate an interview to talking about his work. You know. So that, but that's just my 2 cents. GWP. I'll be honest. people talk about MCU or superhero fatigue, but do you guys get tired of people repeating talking about fatigue at this point? Yes, I know the MCU has formula, but it's
Hey,
a formula that works.
Lopez, you know the Euphoria thing you did on Instagram? I
Yes.
forgot to tell you, I did it. So you got Cassie, right?
Yes.
I got
At
fucking
first,
Maddie. I got Maddie.
Oh god. Oh god.
Promise, I'm not fucking you, man.
I should be saying that. I'm not fucking your man.
Oh, true. Get the fuck off me. Actually, I don't want him. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of garbage.
He's in the kissing booth. Fuck him.
Yeah. Bruna got Fez. Yeah, a formula that works. Maybe to a fault at times, but it still works. Plus, the MCU isn't doing anything different from a lot of other blockbusters people love. They have a hero's journey 3 of 3. Characters tell jokes, etc. It just depends on execution, and the whole director's not getting any creative freedom and previs their action before getting one until James Gunn debunked that crap. I think we've been over this, but I just think people who say that are just flat wrong, as the evidence completely suggests that there is no superhero fatigue. Look at fucking Spider-Man No Way Home. It broke records. It didn't break pandemic records. It broke records. Historical records. Period. I don't know why I'm holding a pen, but I look very professional today holding a pen. Spider-Man No Way Home just completely shatters that argument. And MCU has a formula. Comic books have a formula. That formula is not an MCU formula. It comes from the comics. It's what these stories have, but it's what makes them work. And I don't want to seem like I'm throwing myself at you, Jacoby. I'm really very much throwing myself at those people that say that, because I think you're just not wanting to look at the obvious and what the evidence suggests in this situation. That's like glitched out for a sec. I apologize. And what you mentioned about directors not getting any creative freedom, that's just bullshit. We know at this point that is bullshit. That is not accurate. They have restrictions, but restrictions are important, and restrictions do not equal not having creative freedom. Restrictions are important for, and tons of directors have restrictions in tons of projects depending on studio and producers. But I just think it's creating this false narrative that doesn't exist, and it's not accurate. So I think that discussion just, it's wrong. It's wrong. Fatigue, at this point at least, does not exist. Zach, anything to add?
I'm tired of there's no fatigue. There probably won't ever be a fatigue again. It's just the truth. Like, as long as the MCU and these genres keep doing different things, they're fun to go.
And as long as they're good, as they're good,
we haven't had a crappy. I mean, arguably, we haven't had like a fucking Jonah Hex in a while.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like that.
I don't think so.
Like, I know people don't like. Not everyone loves the Venom movies. Not everyone loved the Eternals, but those aren't Jonah Hex movies. There's like, at least Venom knows what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Venom is like, oh, okay, it's Venom.
Yeah. Movie fan, will No Way Home be actually nominated for Best Picture? I know right if it will. I know right if it will. I don't know if it will. Maybe that's what you meant. But I can see it happening, and also for VFX. I think it's definitely one of the favorites for VFX. Will it be nominated for Best Picture? I don't think so. Should it? If I had my vote, yes, it should. I'm not saying it should win Best Picture, but it should get nominated. So that's my 2 cents. Zach, what about you?
Nope. I'd be shocked if it did. It'd be cool, but let's see PGA. If PGA nominates it, then there's a chance, but I think there's more of a chance of No Time to Die being nominated than Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey Ryan and Zach, what are your thoughts on Netflix confirming Squid Game 2 and the Squid Game universe? And why haven't you and Zach reviewed it on your channels yet? So let's address the second question first. I didn't review Squid Game for two reasons. Number one, I only started watching it way past the hype. And when people aren't talking like TV shows past when they first come out, it's no use reviewing it. It doesn't get a lot of views, it doesn't get a lot of comments, it doesn't get a lot of discussion going. So that's why my rule is if I'm going to review TV shows, I you get me screeners. Otherwise, I won't review TV shows. That's why I'm reviewing Peacemaker because I can review one episode at a time on the day, and now I happen to get screeners. Um, Obviously, there are exceptions, like that niche genre stuff that I like. If I did numbers like Sean Chandler, yes, sure, I'll talk about Squid Game a month after it comes out because I only started watching it like after the London Film Festival because I think it started exploding while I was covering the London Film Festival, and so I only started watching it later. The other reason is I didn't like it too much. I thought it was fine. It's a very watchable show. It's a fun idea, but I wasn't too terribly taken by it. And I hate the ending. Like after the episode with the Marvels, which is episode 6, I believe,
7.
the show
No,
just
it's
takes
7.
a massive
Yeah.
dip, or 7, massive dip in writing, in character. The final twist is maybe do this towards the television. So I'm not too excited for Squid Game 2 or for Squid Game Universe, gotta be honest, Luis. Because I just wasn't taken by the show too much. Again, not a bad show. If I was approved by Rotten Tomatoes, I would give it a positive review, a positive grade, but just not something that blew my mind. Zach?
Happy the creator's getting its money. Definitely cool after how much years and time we put into it. So I didn't review it because I was going to New York Film Festival, put off on watching the show, and it just came out to the point where I finally did watch it because I watched it while I was in New York. I binged the whole thing on the plane. I liked it a lot, in fact, a lot more than Ren did. But I had nothing else to say that everyone else was saying. And for me, it's kind of the same way. If I do a review, if the discussion's still not being had, then I don't feel like I need a point to do my review for it. Unless it's something I'm like passionate, like where I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk about this. Or,
That's
oh
the
my
genre
God, there's
stuff.
nothing. Yeah, or like
if for some reason I only get to watch Moon Knight a month after it releases, I'll still talk about it.
Yeah,
I'll talk about the whole season in one video, but I'll talk about it because it's Moon Knight.
Yeah, but for instance, like this, talking about Squid Game, I also didn't review it because by the time if I had reviewed it, no one's gonna talk about it, and I didn't have anything special to say. The other aspect of that is I just also like didn't want to I just didn't care to. I think that's the biggest point. Like I really liked the show. I loved like majority of it. But I just didn't have anything special. Where like Netflix's Arcane, so many people kept telling me to watch it. So many. It was little I've never gotten like typically people do not. The two things I've ever had the most requests for is a reaction to that fucking Lady in Heaven trailer. and I'm not reacting to that. And 2,
no one
was Arcane. I had so many people asking me to review Arcane that I said, okay, Luis, you were the first person to ask me to review Squid Game. That was
yes, it's true. You're the first person to ask me to review Squid Game.
If I would have had a ton of people asking me to review it, I would have done a video on it. But the fact is, Arcane, within the span after it had ended, for 2 weeks, people kept bugging me about the show. Zach, you need to watch it. Almost every review, you gotta watch it. Binged the show in one day, fucking did a review, and I'm happy I did because I'm happy I got to talk about it. Video did pretty decent, and I fucking loved the show. It was one of my favorite shows of last year. So, you know, that's kind of a big point of it. I don't love talking TV, and same as Ren, unless I get the entire season. Now, it may be a little bit of and there's also things of like Squid Game is one of those phenomenons. It comes out of nowhere. And it's like, what the fuck? Where like, there are certain shows that honestly, if I request a screener and I don't get a reply back, or like I sometimes don't even want to cover the show anymore because it's like, okay, so you didn't.
I didn't cover Dota Dragon's Blood Season 2 because I asked for it. They didn't reply to me. It came out this week.
And
I didn't even watch it yet. I want to watch it because I genuinely like the show, but I haven't seen it yet.
Like, I'll give one right now. Pam and Tommy. I know every fucking person around me has screeners for that.
Same.
They replied back. Can you please send us your analytics? Sent it. Nothing. Ghosted.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I don't want to cover the show. I'm gonna watch it. Really, really excited to watch it.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna cover it
100%.
Even if it's the biggest show in the world, I don't care to. I just
Same.
I what's the point? What's the point?
I have to really be taken by it and have something to say to actually review it at this point. They're still in time to give me the screeners, by the way. They're still very much in time. And I'm going to keep bugging them.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep bugging Max.
Peacemaker, for instance, they didn't give me the first 3 episodes or the season. And I was pretty pissed because I'm like, everyone I know around me has this. I literally emailed someone and they said, email this person, they'll get you them. No reply. What the fuck? Then the show came out, I watched it, and I had something to say, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then literally the next day I got the screeners. So, like, you know, there are things in that. It's just like, for me, when it comes down to TV is really difficult for me to review unless I have, like, something major to say. Like Stranger Things season 4, I'm going to want to shoot myself in the head because they don't do screeners for Stranger Things. And just like, I do it every year with Stranger Things. It's been a tradition.
I never reviewed Stranger Things, so I don't have to do this one either.
So the first season, I didn't know it was coming. I didn't even know what the fuck it was. But I remember distinctively getting off work on a Thursday night. I was up till midnight, and this new show pops up, Stranger Things. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I put it on, and I watched it in one fucking sitting. And ever since then, it's become a tradition that at midnight, I will watch the entire show. Season 2,
there you go.
3, and I'm going to do the same thing with season 4. So now I just I take the next day off and I'm like, I'm just going to binge it and have fun and enjoy myself. And it's weird. I love this show, but there's a lot of aspects I don't love about it. I think it should have ended with season 3. That's just my opinion. But, yeah, I mean, sorry for the tangent.
No worries. I will say this, by the way, Luis. I also recently watched Hellbound.
That was great.
And I stand by everything I say about Squid Game. I would have never guessed I would like Squid Game more than I liked Hellbound. So that's something for you. Lady Aaron, best superhero movie score of all time that is not the Avengers movies, Hans Zimmer score for Man of Steel. Easy.
Hey, I want to ask you about this fan casting.
Okay.
Freddie Storma as Richard Rider Nova. Yes or no?
Don't dislike it. But literally, I have seen him in a small role in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, and now as Vigilante. Those are the only two roles I have of him. So I don't dislike that choice, but I have not seen enough of him to be either very excited or very against it. You know. But yeah. So, what is your favorite superhero movie score that is not the Avengers movies?
Probably the Dark Knight trilogy. I guess that's what. But I really like Giacchino's Spider-Man stuff. I love Danny Elfman's Spider-Man stuff. I'm probably gonna love the Batman score.
Well, but that one's in the future, so let's not take that one into account yet.
Okay, I guess Danny Elfman's Spider-Man score I think is so iconic. Giacchino's is starting to get there. I love Black Panthers. What Ludwig did.
Yes,
incredible. It won Best Score. I mean,
that's true.
I was gonna say Logan, but I can't even hum a fucking beat to that. So I guess it's not like that iconic to me.
It's just very melancholic. It's very somber, very sad. It's very good, but I wouldn't put it as my favorite.
You know which
X-Men
movie
great.
has a fucking great score, but the movie's fucking not great? Dark Phoenix. Hans Zimmer went way too hard on that fucking movie.
The movie didn't deserve it. To the point where his score is great, but I'm watching the movie with the score and I'm like, this doesn't fit.
Loki's score was great too. Loki's, if we're talking about Marvel.
TV shows, Loki's score was great. Dun, 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 dun. Guys, if the Batman film is going to be 3 hours long and people are happy, why people have problems with Zack Snyder's movies? When you talk about people, you talk about like the general audience. There's a ton of people, general audience wise, and on film Twitter that are just against long or short run times, depending on if they're excited for the film itself. Like, I don't care if a film is 3 hours. I'm excited for the Batman, so I'll get excited for
Yeah.
3 hours. But if they told me 90 minutes, they'd be like, oh, okay, I don't get to spend too much time with this Batman, but that's because I'm excited. But I saw a tweet that fully, and this discussion always comes out whenever they announce runtimes for films.
Runtimes.
Doesn't matter how long you are, it only matters if you have great pacing. And I trust Matt Reeves as a director, I trust the writers, I trust everything about this film, so I trust them to have great pacing. Zack Snyder, you guys know I'm a fan of Zack Snyder for the most part. I don't like one of his movies. Out of every film he's ever done, I don't like one. Everything else I either like, really like, or love. Zack Snyder has movies that run a little bit too long. Not awfully too long, but sometimes you can tell, okay, 10 minutes there should have been cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you ask people, it's mostly people that don't take into account like what pacing actually is. So,
yeah, because let me tell you this: No Time to Die does not feel like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like an hour and 45. That film flies by. But then like you'll watch an hour and a half movie and it could feel like 3 hours. So it really is just about pacing. I also will say this: I think the runtime stuff is typically an issue with the general going audience. I asked I showed my dad. I was telling him, I'm like, Dad, they released the runtime for the Batman. I was like, you want to go see with me in theaters? Just I know he wouldn't want to. And he goes, how long is it? I said, it's 2 hours and 55 minutes. He goes, no, I'm good. I'll wait till it's at home. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I don't care.
All right. I know this may be too early to say, but Zach, any Sundance films that you have seen so far, maybe on the horizon for Oscars 2023?
No, and if I'm being honest, the rest that I have, I don't see any being nominated. Right. It's just like for me, MASH should have been the clear front runner last year, and it's not. So, I don't think Sundance is any more of a pick, especially the last 2 years. I think when it finally goes back to in person fully, that's when we can start looking at Sundance again, because a lot of these movies are starting to get picked up a little bit faster, where when they're in person, it takes a little bit more time for them to get picked up. And typically they don't get released till later in the year, like The Father, Promising Young Woman. And there was one more from, Minari. Those three all got pushed for the Oscars heavily. Also, weirdly enough, because it was a year with no movies. So I think that's also why.
Yeah. Oh,
because I'll tell you right now, Ren, actually, if Mass would have came out the year before, I think it would have been a front runner at the Oscars.
All right. GQAP, since I got a turntable, what's the soundtrack I should get on vinyl? Maybe I'll get them when I'm searching for new/classic albums from artists, bands. It's an easy answer because it's very recent, but Last Night in Soho is a banger of a soundtrack. So, and that one is available on vinyl. There's a cool cover of that is basically the poster of the film, but then there's also a Mondo variant that is fantastic as well. I don't know if, but that's not soundtrack. That's a score with some songs. But La La Land, if it's available, get that one. Zach, suggestions.
I don't know. I don't collect them that much, so I'm not the best for that. But La La Land, Spider-Verse, I mean, whatever you're into.
Oh, Spider-Verse is a good one. Lady Aaron, I know that Dune and West Side Story will get a lot of nominations at the Oscars, but who do you think is going to be the favorite movie to win Best Picture like last year when it came to Nomadland? Right now, I still stand by what I've been saying, that right now it's between West Side Story and Belfast. I will pick a favorite or completely change my stance on the day of the nominations. So on February 8th, we'll do the live. We'll see what gets nominated for what, and I'll have a clearer idea by then. Zach, what do you think?
I don't know. I really don't know. Because if Coda gets nominated, I think it could be the dark horse. I really think
I like
Coda
Coda
could-
more than I love Belfast and West Side Story, even though I love both of those.
Yeah.
So I would be very happy.
So I don't know. I think King Richard, but King Richard seems to have lost steam. I don't know. It's a really weird year where I feel like for picture wise, director wise, I know you didn't like the movie, but you still can't count out Power of the Dog. That film is just fucking still churning, and it's very surprising to me.
It's all right. I didn't
love
dislike
that movie,
it.
but
It's
it's
all
one
right.
of the ones that I'm surprised more people are grabbing onto it.
I am
would
very
say, like,
surprised, clearly.
because I always think there's a front runner. There's someone who could come
Mhm.
up right behind, and then there's that dark horse, that out of left field, where like Olivia Colman was the dark horse the year the year she won for The Favorite. This year, I think the dark horse is Benedict Cumberbatch, where I think it's Will Smith and Andrew Garfield, but then that dark horse is Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
The same with the rest of
True.
the cast. So I'm not sure. I need to see who gets nominated before I can really guess that. It's not going to be House of Gucci though. Sorry, Lady Aaron. If that movie gets fucking nominated,
Yeah. With the Book of Boba Fett not being all that great, does this worry you for the Obi-Wan series? No, because I've liked most everything that the team behind the Book of Boba Fett has done up until now. The Book of Boba Fett is the exception, is the one that I don't, and it's not horrible. It's just something that I'm frustrated with, that I'm not getting
probably
fun out of doing videos for. But no, it doesn't worry me for Obi-Wan. Because Obi-Wan feels like a show that has meat to it. Boba Fett was something that I was not. Exactly, I was not interested in. Then they show him in Mandalorian season 2, and I'm like, okay, this could work. And now how they're going about it is completely uninteresting to me. Obi-Wan is just something that I'm excited for. I want more of that character. That is a character that I already love. That is a character that I can see headline his own show. This one, Boba Fett, I didn't think so. They kind of tricked me, and now I'm starting to think, okay, there really isn't a point for this show. But Obi-Wan, no, I'm not worried. Not worried at all. Lady Aaron, do you guys think that this past month since Betty White's passing has been absolutely brutal when it comes to celebrity? It has been. It sucks. It's been sucking for a while now. So I think so. Yeah.
And I do want to say my heart goes out to Regina King's family.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw. Holy shit! I woke up to it. That was like one of the first things I saw.
I went to bed to that. Like literally, it was the last thing I saw.
I mean, yeah, I wake up around the time you go to bed. So, tell me, Chappie, who would win in a fight, Hellboy or Spawn? I think Spawn.
That's a really good question.
I mean, if we're talking about Hellboy fully embracing the devil, like with the big horns and all, I still think Spawn, but it would be a fairer fight. It will be a tougher fight. But if we're talking like default mode Hellboy or Spawn, I think Spawn.
So I think if it's full peak, like both of them, especially Hellboy, I think Hellboy wins. But if it's just like normal meeting on the street, Spawn would win. Because Hellboy's kind of clumsy and shit until he gets like that, like buffness and the crown and the horn and all that shit. God damn, why didn't we get Del Toro's third movie? That would have been fantastic.
That's true. Ren, can we almost guarantee that The Batman will be our #1 movie of 2022 if it gets an A+ on your reviews of it, or not yet? No, not yet. Anything is possible. I could watch The Batman and it's an F. I could watch The Batman and it's a C. Anything is possible. The Batman has as many chances of being my #1 as it has of being my number.
Could be the worst superhero movie of the last 10 years.
Like, exactly. Could be my least favorite movie.
You guys not remember the original Suicide Squad's trailers?
Yeah. How excited I was for that. Tommy H, have you seen the idea that in Moon Knight only one of his persona knows the code to his ankle lock? So I hadn't thought that deep about it, but it makes sense. Like the Stephen Grant, the guy who ties himself to the lock, obviously he'll be the only one who knows the combination.
I saw a theory that his accent's only Stephen Grant. Everyone else.
Oh yeah. Stephen, he's a guy. It's only that personality that thinks he's British because he's not an actually British guy. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Ooh, Jigo EP. I watched Licorice Pizza, and I'm with you, Ren. While I acknowledge it's well directed and the acting was great, I couldn't connect with the story and characters, and I forgot about it once it was over. What did you forget about? There's nothing to forget. Nothing happens in that movie. That's the biggest. No, I got you, Jigo EP. Thank you for agreeing with me, brother. Glad to see I'm not alone.
Yeah, you know what else? Something didn't happen in Coda. Nothing happened in that movie.
That's not true. That's not true. And you love Coda, so you cannot be a hypocrite and claim that. Question for Zach: how do you sign up for Sundance?
Well, you buy tickets. You go to the website for Sundance and you buy tickets. That's it. That's it. It's like any film festival. Most tickets are sold out now, though. You can try. I don't know what's still available. And then for press members, you apply months in advance, and you hope that your ass doesn't get fucked.
Where was I? Questions. Questions. Where are questions, everybody? Come out. Oh, here it is. Ren, I didn't know about this until yesterday, but did you know that an English version of the Bell soundtrack got released yesterday? No, I didn't know. I'm curious to listen to the song that comes in like in the end, in the big moment of the film. If you've seen Bell, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I don't want to spoil it. Go see Bell. I know Eric Thorpe has a two-part question, but I'm not seeing the 2 of 2. Oh, here it is. Okay. Eric Thorpe. Personally, I like Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the Suicide Squad about equally to Infinity War, which I think is the MCU's best. But yeah, I meant more the Dark Knight trilogy and stuff, because I know I'm in the minority on the DCU stuff. But okay, so it wasn't a question. I think I got in the middle of a conversation Eric was having. But thank you for sharing anyway, Eric. We appreciate it, brother. More. Okay, guys, I'm finally going to play Guardians of the Galaxy on the Xbox One. Zach, what should I expect from the game? Okay, I'm going away. Apparently, my opinions on Guardians of the Galaxy are not needed. Yes, I have.
Yeah, you beat it. Okay.
Yeah, I have.
Expect a rockin' badass time, and a surprisingly emotional one too.
Yes, it's
make sure to talk anytime you get time to talk to all the characters. Make sure to do it because you'll laugh, you'll have fun. So,
yes, and have fun because it's a fun experience. Which movies, in your opinion, has a director's cut, and do you think that the director's cut of the film is even better than what we originally got in theaters?
Well, every single Zack Snyder's cut is better than the original version that got released, I would say.
That's accurate. Director's cut movies, but that's an easy answer.
Of Lord of the Rings.
True. Blade Runner, the final cut. Easily. That's the one for me. That's gotta be the one.
Yeah.
That's gotta be the one for me. Yeah. Hang on. I'm seeing a list here, but most of them are films I haven't seen the theatrical or the original cut. I didn't even know Alexander had a director's cut. Star Trek, the original motion picture, has a director's cut that's better than the original, slightly better than the original, not by much. I didn't know Leon had a director's cut. The Abyss I knew had a director's cut, but I don't think it's that good. Apocalypse Now, obviously. How did I forget that one? But yeah, those are a few of the ones. But the extended ones, the extended Lord of the Rings cuts, like Zach said, those are also up there. We can't even get people to watch Peacemaker. I thought back then it's gonna make $1 billion. That's accurate, actually. That actually tracks. Good one, Tommy. So I see that Jico EP has 2 of 2, but I want to find part 2. I'm not finding part 2. Where is... Okay, I wanted to bring up this, but I'm not finding the 2 of 2 at this point.
Ren, I have an idea. I wonder if, like, is there a way that when we start our new podcast, if there's a way that we can put, like, a link to where people can go ask questions?
What do you mean? That is not the live chat?
Like a separate thing, and then we can look at the live chat for, like, discussions.
I think we can create something. I think that would be an option.
Because I'm wondering if that would help. Because we've talked about it. I love the discussions. I wish YouTube had separate chats though, where it could be like questions
100%.
here and then comments here.
By the way, speaking of, I have something to show you that I'm showing to Zach for the first time too. So I want to get his and your guys' approval.
I love it.
Boom.
I like it. Put it on a t-shirt.
We're gonna put it on t-shirts, my friends. And then we have this version.
Is that the final?
We have this version as well.
I like that
it's the final if you approve. I like it, so I want to know your thoughts.
I like it.
And then hang on. And then we got the shortened version, which is Twig.
I like the second one
most. Okay, the black font.
Yeah. When you can send that to me so I can house it. Because I'm gonna start getting our audio version set up.
All right, perfect. I'll send it to you right now.
Sweet.
Zach Perry. Here we go. There you go, my friend.
Sweet. Alrighty,
and so there you go. That's your first look at This Week in Geek logo.
And so everyone, the biggest difference about that show is what we're going to do is every episode we're going to play it This Week in Geek on how to strip. And we're going to strip down butt naked every episode. And the first person who does it right gets $1,000. So I think it's going to work. What do you think?
So 97, 98, 99, 100. We're literally 4 weeks away. But I agree. I think so, Zach. Troy had a director's cut as well. Good shot, Any Movie Chappie. That's right. Ben Affleck's Daredevil also has a director's cut. I wouldn't say it's great. Like, it doesn't turn the film from... what would I give it to that Daredevil? I would give it probably... It doesn't turn like the movie from let's say B-, C+, to an A movie. But I think it turns it into a solid B. It still has the teeter-totter scene in the director's cut, so that brings it quite a bit down for me.
I don't even remember that scene.
You don't remember the teeter-totter scene?
I don't even remember the movie. No.
Okay, GCOP got us part 2. So I'll get to GCOP's question, and then we'll do 2 more questions. So throw us a really good question, guys. All right, GCOP says, what do you think of when people complain about fan service? I've seen critics use this as a complaint with No Way Home, Ghostbusters, and even Scream recently. Some reviewers on YouTube won't say who, but say that Scream 5 just rides off on the original and keep comparing it to the original. But it wasn't trying to. It was honoring the original and Wes Craven's legacy. So I've actually had this discussion for a while, for several chats this week. Like, fan service is not inherently a bad thing. It's a bad thing when it gets in the way of story. And if you ask me, Spider-Man No Way Home, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and Scream 5, it didn't get in the way of story. Actually, in Scream 5 specifically, it was incremental to the story. It was essential for the story to work. So whatever fan service you have there, when it feels gratuitous, it is on purpose. Because if you've seen Scream, it's the fans that are guiding the story beats from one to the next. They are commending the story and the characters within the story. Actually, our friend Griffin just put up his latest video essay on Scream, and he talks about this very thing, and it's another great one, so go check that one out. But yeah, fan service, we gotta stop treating fan service as inherently a bad thing, because it's not. If it serves the story, Spider-Man No Way Home served the story beautifully. Ghostbusters Afterlife is one I will put an asterisk on when giving my opinion. Because I wasn't a fan of the other Ghostbusters, I don't care too much for those films, so the fan service was not going to impact me. So I see that it's there, but because I'm not connected to it, it doesn't get in my way. It doesn't skew my vision. And I'm not saying it skews everyone else's vision, but it's not going to affect me, the fan service in Ghostbusters Afterlife. But I know someone who hated that film because of how fan servicey it is. I think there was a good balance. So I didn't mind it too much, but those are my thoughts. Zach, what about you?
It depends on how it's done. If it's earned, that's a big thing. Does it feel earned in the end of the day? Scream, everyone needs to fuck off on that movie. That if you are complaining about fan service and if you're complaining about just certain things, you literally are. That's what the film was making fun of. Like it like it's the commentary on you. So
yeah, really cannot recommend that video from Griffin enough. I just saw it this morning,
exactly.
And it's great. He even talks about Ghostbusters Afterlife and how badly it does some of the fan service, which I didn't necessarily agree, but I totally see his point. Lady Aaron, and we'll do one more after this, guys. One more. Great question for you guys, Ren and Zach. What do you think will likely be the winner and nominees for Best Original Song at the Oscars this year? Don't know nominees, because I can't think of all the original songs off the top of my head. But off the top of my head, probably. It can't be anything from West Side, because they all existed in the other film.
It's original. Yeah. Probably be Encanto then.
I want to see We Don't Talk About Bruno winning.
You know they didn't push that one though, right?
They didn't?
They didn't. They put the Louisa one, I think, as the.
That's great. That's great. I mean, doesn't touch.
But yeah, they didn't. From my understanding, I don't think it's eligible because of whatever the rules are. They didn't push for it, or I can't remember the rules exactly. I could be wrong, but everywhere I keep reading, a lot of people are like, "Do not expect that movie to be nominated." Or that song to be nominated.
Well, Eric Thorpe is bringing it up. No Time to Die. That's probably going to be the winner. I forgot because in my mind the song already came out a long ago. But you're totally right. That should be the winner.
Yeah.
Whether We Don't Talk About Bruno gets nominated or not, and apparently it's not going to get nominated. No.
Every time I see a TikTok of someone dancing to it or singing, I'm like, I gotta watch it. It's so fucking good.
7-foot frame rats along his back. When it calls your name, it all fades to black. All right. Last question. What are some performances that got completely ignored during this award season that were incredible performances? For me, it's easily Adam Driver in Annette and Jodie Comer in The Last Duel.
Annette Baby. Annette Baby should have been. Annette Baby presents an award at the Oscars. I do agree with Jodie Comer here, though. She should have been. She should be.
I hope she is, but because she hasn't been totally
I'll say this.
Shut down.
The fact, Kristen Stewart didn't get the SAG award. I would argue Jodie Comer should have been second. I think she gave the second best performance of the year.
If we're gonna do Jodie Comer in The Last Duel, because she has gotten some nominations. I don't think she's going to get the Oscar, but she has gotten some nominations from some awards bodies here and there. But someone, I keep seeing enough of her I keep seeing her in here and there, but not enough. And I don't think she's gonna get an Oscar nom either, even though you think it's gonna be the dark horse, and I hope it is a dark horse. But we're not talking about Emilia Jones in Coda enough. That's a performance that needs to be talked about more. Because if that performance isn't at that level, at that insane level of quality that it is, the film doesn't work as well as it does.
I agree.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one for me. I'll also say Millicent Simmons in the Quiet Place Part 2. She carries that film. It's nuts because the kid is what 12. Millicent Simmons.
I'm pretty sure
age.
she's like 16.
Yeah, I think 18. 18.
Mm.
But yeah, insane nevertheless. Indiana Jones and Coda. All right, everyone, that is it for this week's Geeks of the Roundtable. My computer is almost dying. We're at 5% now. So, Zach, quickly, what do you have coming up this week, and where can people find you online?
Sundance reviews, Boba Fett review, Peacemaker review, maybe more. We will see. Other than that, I'm starting to prep because in February, that's when more films start coming out again. I got 3 screeners of the first week of February. Holy shit, is that going to be crazy? So.
And you guys can find Zach on all his links in the description. You can find me on all my links in the description. And thank you so much to you guys for watching, for your great questions. Thank you to Bruna and Stuart, the channel members, for making this video possible and every video possible. And if you guys would consider becoming a member, there's a link in the description for you to check the perks and see if it is for you. This week, we don't have Boba Fett. I'm not reviewing that shit anymore. But we have...
Just and watch this, like, when you go to watch it, and be like, fuck, seriously? Now you do something?
Now, and supposedly they're going to do something this week. I'll tell you when we turn the cameras off. But you guys can expect Peacemaker review, can expect an after-party review this week. And I don't know what else, but I'm sure a Netflix movie is coming out, so I'll talk about that. And maybe other things. And I have an article right now up on mamasgeeky.com. If you like the bell, there's 10 more anime movies you should watch. And I explained a little bit as to why. So thank you so much once more for watching. Thank you so much to my members. Thank you so much to all you beautiful people in the live chat. And thank you, Zach, for joining me. Until the next one, for one of the final episodes of Geeks Around